Hey guys, WalterFootball.com video here. Going to be talking about the three most overrated teams in the NFL for the 2025 NFL season. Before we get into that, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store, or visit WalterFootball.com. We have tons of new content every single day. We have fantasy football rankings, picks against the spread in the fall, NFL mock drafts for 2026 already. We have two of them. And we grade every signing, we grade every trade. There's so much content, and it's all free. So check out walterfootball.com for tons of content. We did a three most underrated teams video about a week ago. I'm going to link that in the top comment of this video. So check that out if you haven't seen that already. And we also have some other videos, like I talked about why you should avoid Stephon Diggs in fantasy football leagues, and it's not because of the boat incident. Also reviewed some fantasy football drafts and whatnot. So we're going to try to post a new video every day on here. So please subscribe. That mean a lot to us. And we're closing in on 5,000 subs. So it would be great if we got there soon. All right. So as you can see on the screen here, my number three team, the third most overrated team in the NFL for 2025 is the San Angeles Chargers, as they call them. The Chargers, they have a great offense. There's a lot to like about them. And by the way, all these three teams are favorites to make the playoffs. So this is why they're overrated. So the Chargers, you might be surprised to see them here. They have Justin Herbert, entering his second year with Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh is a great coach. Nothing but respect for him. The offensive line's awesome. They added Mekhi Becton this offseason to go along with their great tackles. They just added some receivers. They drafted Mary Hampton in the first round. So you might be wondering, like, why are they so overrated? Well, it's because the other side of the ball, their defense looks so bad. And it's not just because Joey Bosa left. And Bosa's absence is going to have a big impact. It's not going to be huge because, he didn't play all that much last year and he wasn't that effective. He had about 6.5 sacks or so. So he was on the decline. So, I mean, they're still going to miss him, but not as much as people might think. The problem with the Chargers is everything else. Their defensive line might be the worst defensive line in the NFL this year. They have a couple rookies who might pan out. They drafted Jamari Caldwell in the third round, for example. But if he doesn't pan out, I just don't see how this defensive line is going to get any pressure on the quarterback from the interior or stop the run. They're going to have severe issues. Their cornerbacks look abysmal. The only good defensive back they have is Derwin James. The linebacker is pretty mediocre as well. So this team just doesn't look like they're going to be able to stop anyone. They're still going to win some games. I think they still have a chance to make the playoffs, just given how great they're going to be offensively. And again, I love Harbaugh, but this looks like a team that doesn't really have what it takes to make a deep run into the playoffs. And there are, you have to be fair. There are some concerns with Herbert stepping up in the clutch. He hasn't done that yet. I think he might in the future, but we haven't seen that yet. So there's reason to believe that he's going to just fail again in the playoffs once again this year, if he gets there. The number two most overrated team in the NFL this year is the Detroit Lions. Now, before Lions send me any hate mail here, I think Jacob Kamaker and I, we used to do a show together on YouTube, live show. We were the first people, I think, to be on the Lions bandwagon. We both bet them to win the Super Bowl at 100-1 odds. And then the next year we did that too, lesser odds. I think it was like 40-1. And they got to the NFC Championship. As you guys know, I'm sure Detroit fans know, I don't have to tell them, but they were up 17 in the NFC Championship to the Niners. And then they blew that lead, which was just heartbreaking because we were such believers in the Lions, and winning that bet would have been awesome. But I mean, this is a team that's also loaded offensively. They have Jared Goff, they have Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams. They're a great offensive line, at least a tackle. Center is really good too. So again, like, what is the problem here? And you have Aiden Hutchinson coming back too from injury. Well, it's the defense is going to be an issue. Aaron Glenn is gone. He got the most out of a lot of players there, including Carlton Davis. So they did manage to find a replacement for Davis and DJ Reed. So there's a chance that the defense isn't going to be as bad as some might think it is. But the main problem I have with the Lions is that they lost both coordinators, not just Aaron Glenn, but also Ben Johnson. They both took jobs. Johnson went to Chicago, and Aaron Glenn's with the New York Jets. So a team that loses one coordinator is, they can get over that. But teams that lose two coordinators, that's going to be pretty tough. I mean, we saw that with the Patriots dynasty in 03 and 04. They won the Super Bowl. After 04, they lost Romeo Cornell and Charlie Weiss. And in 05, they made the playoffs, but they lost in the second round. They got blown out by Denver. So I think the same thing could happen to Detroit here. I think there's a decent chance they make the playoffs. but I don't think they're going to make a deep run into into the playoffs, into the Super Bowl. And in fact, I'm doing my season previews now, and I think there's a good chance that they do miss the playoffs just because of how good the NFC North is. So we saw this actually a few years ago with the Eagles. The Eagles lost both coordinators after they made it to the Super Bowl, and the next year they started 10-1. And some people point to that as, okay, look, they had a nice start despite losing both coordinators, but that was a mirage. That team was so overrated at 10-1. I didn't even have them atop my power rankings back then. I think I had them at number 3 or number 4 just because they were so flawed. They almost lost to the Redskins twice with Sam Howell. Like they just were a shell of themselves, and then they got exposed late in the season. I think something similar could happen here, and I think the Lions have enough talent to win to get over 500, but they're going to be they're going to have some close games against mediocre or worse opponents. And then once they play the tougher teams, I think they're going to lose. Now, maybe they rebound next year once they get better coordinators. Who knows? Maybe these guys will pan out. But I just think this change is just too drastic for one off season. So I think that's going to hurt them. My number one team, and this is a team I talked about right after the Super Bowl 59. I posted a poll on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And I said, who do you have? Who are you going to bet to win Super Bowl 60? And I posted the odds, and the most common response was the Cincinnati Bengals. It seemed like half the responses were on the Bengals, because the Bengals, I think, at that time were like 18-1. And every publication I'm looking at on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, they had the Bengals winning the division at like 12-5, over the Ravens even, which seems crazy to me because the Ravens are a much better team. The Bengals have a few great players. Obviously, they have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. They have Trey Hendrickson on defense. Chase Brown was really good last year. But then if you look past those guys, they don't have anything at all. And everyone expects their offense to be explosive this year. And I think against bad pass rushes, they will be explosive. They'll score in the 40s, I'm sure, on multiple occasions. But when they go against teams that can rush the quarterback very well, it's going to be pretty rough because their offensive line looks bad to me. Their guard play just looks abysmal. Center's not bad, but if you look at tackle, their tackles did not perform well last year. They thought they were going to get a good one in Orlando Brown Jr. He struggled in his first season in Cincinnati. The right tackle, Marius Mims, who's a first rounder, he struggled. Now, he could improve. Maybe Brown rebounds. There's a chance that it happens, but their guard play looks so bad right now. So the interior pass rush is going to be a problem for them. But that's not the worst of their issues. The worst of their issues is the defense, especially if Hendrickson holds out. Like the defense was bad last year, like very bad. And now if Hendrickson holds out and with Sam Hubbard retiring too, they're not going to have any sort of pass rush at all. And given that the Bengals and Hendrickson are just far apart in their negotiations, I think there's a chance that he at least misses some time, like maybe even the whole season. We'll see. I mean, we saw Le'Veon Bell hold out the whole year. Like that could happen again. But even if Hendrickson plays, they just have so many flaws. They can't stop the run at all. Their defensive tackle play just looks so anemic. Their secondary looks atrocious. Easily the worst secondary in the NFL, in my opinion. So I don't think they're going to be able to stop anyone. So they're going to be in shootouts a lot, and they're going to beat these bad teams in shootouts. But when they go against good teams, especially with teams that can get to the quarterback, they're not going to be able to win those games. So I think it's more likely than not that they have a losing record than they make the playoffs. So the Bengals are my number one most overrated team in the NFL 2025. So let me know what you think. Am I right on these? Am I missing anyone? Or am I crazy? Or all three of these teams going to make the playoffs? Definitely let me know. But otherwise, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store, and visit walterfootball.com for tons of content. And I will talk to you tomorrow.